So a lot of our members, they've been learning to say no. And it sounds like such a simple word to say, but actually putting that into action can be very, very challenging. So are there any tips here? How can we say no? How do we manage the feelings that we have afterwards, the potential guilt that might come up?
I think it's first of all really important to acknowledge that when you're saying no, it comes up with a lot of fear. And then afterwards, once you've said it, you're going to probably come with a lot of guilt. So it's really important that you just notice that and acknowledge that. But things to probably consider is what you want to say no to. So say no to the things that you don't like. Say no to the things that don't contribute to your health. Spend time with those healthy people that's around you, not with the ones that drain your energy. Spend time with the things that actually interest you. And just be okay with spending time on yourself as well. Being alone, instead of just waiting for those right people to join you or the right circumstances and the right conditions to kind of fall into place. You're probably going to wait a very miraculous, long journey for those right conditions to come up. So spending time with yourself is really important, and that's what you're doing it for. It's not to deliberately, maliciously or callously upset anyone. You're doing it for yourself, and that's the core.
So I'll give you some examples that have come up recently where a member said no to an event. A member said no to a piece of work that landed on her desk, like last minute on a Friday, and it made her feel great in those moments because actually she had a bit of time back. But then she started to have that fear. What if I don't get the promotion because I said no? What if I don't get recognised at the end of the year and get the bonus at the end of the year? So how would you manage that, especially in the kind of corporate world that a lot of the people we're supporting are kind of entrenched in and involved in?
I guess when someone of a higher power or a higher authority is putting on work on your desk last minute, it's probably kind of an indicator of poor boundaries and a disrespect of other people's boundaries. So it's important that the colleague or the employer have an open and honest conversation with each other about what is workable. Not something that's right or wrong, that doesn't really exist, but what's going to be helpful. Because ultimately, if this person is taking it on, they're going to start feeling a bit burnt out afterwards. They're going to be taking on too much, and that's going to prevent the kind of sustainability over time. And it's all about the longevity. So having open and honest conversations can often be quite frightful, but maybe talk about it with a professional, maybe talk about it with a friend of yours or a close relative about ways in which you can practice to say no. Maybe make a scenario.
Yeah, this sounds like learning how to communicate. So you said that have the conversation, sit down, maybe book in a meeting, have a conversation about it. And it just sounds like actually learning to communicate more effectively. Would you say that that's about right? And do you have any tips on communicating more effectively?
Well, I think communication is the key thing, because without communication, no one's probably going to be able to really find out about how you're really feeling about doing that task. So I think it's something that's it's a skill that's acquired. It's not something that we're born with. It's not something that we're inherited with. We learn it from an environment. So just surround yourself with those people that are healthy, that probably have healthy boundaries in place. Learn about how they've kind of communicated that, getting some tips. Maybe also on the internet or reading some books about how to put boundaries in place can be really effective to kind of help ourselves to look inwards.
Do you know, this is really important because actually within the CHR community, everybody talks with one another. So if somebody's succeeding, they'll share what they've done. If somebody's feeling like they're actually struggling, they'll share what they're struggling with. And everybody comes together and we find solutions with one another. And the community side of things is amazing because we had a member pop in just the other day and talk about how she succeeded within the framework of the CHR. And one of the biggest things was actually learning to say no, getting her partner on board to actually say, I need your help on X, Y, and Z day. And that was the kind of healthy boundaries popping in. And I just think it's really, really cool that you've just mentioned that. If you surround yourself with other people that are really winning, surround yourself with other people with those traits and habits and beliefs that you aspire to, then you're going to be in a position of strength.
Absolutely, yeah.